Hello, this is a tutorial on how to deal with variables and blocks in MC Creator and how to have these two things interact with each other. To start off, we're going to be going over the very basics, such as what is a variable, what are the different types of variables within MC Creator, and how they can be utilized. So, the variables we have are a variable names, a variable types, and a variable scope. So, the most complicated part, hands down, is your scope. Global map is saving it to like the entire save file. Global session will reset every time you get off the world, and global world is to that dimension. So you can have like one variable that only affects you in the nether, and then it's different in the overworld, and these two things will be held differently. This is useful if you have like some stat that you only want to change based off of where that player is. Player lifetime can be pretty obvious. It is just once the player dies, that variable resets. It doesn't stay for long. This is great for dropping stuff on death. So if you have like a unimportant variable or a stat variable that you want to reset every time the player dies, like money, this is a great way to do it. It'll just reset it once you die. And player persistent is something that's going to last for as long as that player. It's just gonna save to the player, and it's just gonna be there. For this variable we are going to work on, we're gonna have a number variable. This is pretty straightforward. It is just a number, 0 to whatever you can think of. A logic is true or false. A string is just a word. Item stacks are a bit more complicated. That is like what item is in that slot. This can be used to kind of do a save inventory system. Direction and block states more has to deal with blocks themselves, and even more complicated. So we're not going to cover them because I don't even know how to do them. And we're just going to call this variable money. And we're going to have a block, fix the global scope. Shut up. We're going to have a player lifetime variable called money, and we're going to make a block where you can sell an item. So let's make a very basic block. Merchant. That's how you spell it, I swear. Just get the texture here and skip the triggers because we don't really care about anything else right now. We are going to have it be on block right clicked. We get the player's custom variables. So let's just get our money variable, both set and get. So this way we can add to whatever the player currently has. And we can check if the player has an item in the main hand. So we're going to have it be you can sell dirt. 1 money. If I can. Item in main hand. And to make sure it actually gets rid of it, we're gonna shrink it about 1. That way it's just 1 for 1. Self the item. The merchant block. What a good place to place it. And get our dirt. And as we can tell by the fact that it took away the item, we now know we have that money. A good way to check it if you don't have a message or some other like display is /data get. You can get it for yourself, and this will show up. It'll be a bit annoying to find, but it will show up. So if we just rifle through this a little bit and lower the music. Oh, yep, here it is. See, money 1. We can just very quickly raise it because it is so much easier to see when it's a weird number. We got $18 right now. Now, there are a few other things we can do with this. Because obviously, if you want to do like a selling system, you're probably not going to want to have to manually input everything. So we can have it be, if we give it storage, and throw together a very quick GUI. And throw together a very quick GUI. Shit. Just a slot. Don't need much more than that. We open this. If GUI data 1 and it's dirt. We can check for a player. Let's just make sure you can always get it. So 128, that's a decent couple of chunks to surround your entire base at that point. And same thing as we did last time, so we just get the player's money and info. And we remove 1. That's actually not going to work. retract it, and there we go. Make it look nicer. And also, just good tip before we move on. Is to have a way to show the player, mainly you, what's going on. Because if you can't figure out what we're doing here, then it doesn't really help knowing anything. Money. Let's get a merchant block again. Get a hopper. So that way you know it's not just this. Where is our dirt? Oh, right, hold up. Make sure you turn on your tick rate, or it won't work. Fun fact. I know. I'm so good at this lesson stuff. There we go, see? It's a every second or so it should remove one. If I remember to do everything correctly. If I remember to turn everything on, it'll work. Fun fact. Yay. I'm so good at coding, I swear. This is a good tutorial. At least you'll know what to do based off of my mistakes. Mistakes are good. They let you learn stuff. And fun fact, whenever you do that, you kind of have to replace the block or it won't work. And remember that, because it will mess you up later, as it has for me several times before. But see, we're gaining money. We're gaining money, and that's good. That means this automated system works fine. And because of how a bunch of other mods work, this will actually work great in like a create add-on or stuff like that. This can also be done in other ways where you can check how much money the player has. So we can actually do a second thing. So if we check if the player has more than, say, $20, we can subtract 20 and turn it into a wooden sword. This can be used in a few different ways. You can make it have like a shop system, or like a sacrifice system. If you're making like a dungeon crawler mod, you can have the player find the 3 of these, and they sacrifice an item, and they can get like a reward out of it. And since you get to choose what it's checking for, you can even have it be used for doors and things along those lines. See, it works fine. I mean, we're kind of broke now, so it doesn't matter. Let's put more money in. But it works. So once we get to $20 here, we can pop one open, and there you go. You get a wooden sword with 20 dirt blocks. That's a good deal, if you ask me. But of course, this is kind of just the baseline of what you can do here. Here's kind of what the code would look like. Depends on what you're doing. This is how you would do like a check. So this doesn't have to be to spend it. It can be, okay, does the player have this amount of like devotion? Like you just spent so much to this totem here, it'll give you like a potion effect now. So every take it'll check if it has this much like points in it, and it can disperse a potion. And you can also use this to spend money, gain money, or convert blocks. So you check if the player has, like, in this system, you turn 20 dirt into a wooden sword. Yes, it seems more like a money system, but it can be used for, like, Project E, how they do it, where they have, like, their energy, and you can, different items have different values, and that's what will allow you to pull a similar system where it'll put, like, the first item in this slot to be that number, to be that item, and now you can convert them. So it'll all work. But that's kind of it. It's a pretty simple thing. If you have any questions, put in the comment, all that jazz. And yeah, talk later.